mount, well, try and get that, well, that's not going to work. The nut goes in, oh sorry, the bolt, oop. G'day YouTubers, I'm Dr. Mohr and welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be installing a center stand to my Kawasaki Versys X 300. So if you intend to use your Kawasaki Versys X 300 as a touring bike or an adventure bike, I would highly recommend to get a center stand. For the simple reasons, if you get a puncture, it's nice and easy to put the bike on the center stand and do the repairs. Chain maintenance, another good reason to have the center stand there. Nice and easy to lubricate the chain or even adjust tension. And also to check oil. You're putting the bike on a level plane, it's nice and easy to check the oil. Okay, let's go and check the kit out. Okay, in front of us we have the Kawasaki Genuine Centre Stand. The part number I'll put in the description. And it consists of the stand itself, a spring, damper, 2 bolts, 2 collars and 2 nuts, and not to forget instructions. So before you start installing this, familiarise yourself with the products and also do a bit of a quality check. You never know, this piece might have been put all together on a Friday and they wanted to get home nice and early. Make sure that the bolts and the nuts aren't threaded or anything like that, or cross-threaded, and everything is running smooth. But most of all, make sure that you study or read the instructions, and yeah. It's not a bad, it doesn't look like a very complicated job. I think the hardest part of this is going to be the spring. Okay, let's look at the tools required to do this job. In the back here, we've got a torque wrench. Over here, we have a 14mm spanner to hold the bolts. Over here, we've got a 17mm socket for the nuts. We've got a screwdriver here to, I'm hoping to be able to put the spring on. You should really be using a spring mounting tool, but I don't actually have one. I'm hoping I'll be able to do it with that. Some Loctite and also some grease. And not to forget the instructions, very important. Now the Kawasaki Versys X300 already has the mounting kit for the center stand, and this is where it's going to be pivoting from, around that area there. This is from the clutch side, and from the brake side it's going to be pivoting through here. And as you notice, there's already a damper on there. Okay, I've positioned the center stand underneath the bike in the way it's supposed to be mounted. It's going to be brought up into here and it's going to pivot from there, and you will use your foot on this where I've got my hand to push that down, and that will lift the bike once it hits the ground. So the first thing you need to do is that you're going to need to apply some grease inside these little holes here. So that's what we'll do now. Okay, that's that one done. And what I'm going to do also is I'm actually going to apply some grease on the outside of this as well. Probably should have worn gloves for this, but that's okay, I've got a rag handy. Okay, so now you need to bring the stand up into here and grab a collar, and what you want to do is you want to thread that through the back part. This is going to be quite awkward to do considering I've only got the camera. I've got the camera in front of me, so it's a little bit awkward, but that's the clutch side done. So from the brake side, see where that goes. I had it before. Okay, and then just lift the stand up a little bit and then push that through. Okay, so the next part now is just to put the bolt in. Now the bolts go in from the back, pointing out towards this way, and the nut goes on this side here. But before you do that, just make sure it's pivoting okay. Doesn't seem to be any issues there. Okay, so basically you want to try and get that. Well, that's not going to work. So that's one nut through, that's on the clutch side. Let's go to the brake side. Okay, once again, the bolt goes in through the back and the nut goes on the outer. It helps with having this telephone here, makes the job a lot easier. You can actually see what I'm actually doing. Okay, so that one's in as well. Now the nuts, they've actually got like a little lock washer in there, so as you tighten it up it will basically lock itself onto the bolt, but I will also use a bit of Loctite on it as well. Okay, 14mm spanner on the back, 17 on the nut, and then just tension it up. Same on the other side, just do it up. As tight as you can possibly do, and then use the torque wrench to whatever specifications, and I will put that also in the description. Okay, now it's time to torque it up. Okay, that's that one done. Now to the other side. Done. Now it comes to the hardest part of doing this job, getting the spring on. Now the spring is going to go from here down to there. Now I tried it with a screwdriver and there's no way I'm going to be able to do that, so I'm just going to have to work out a different way of doing this. Okay, finally got the spring on. It was a bit of an effort. I end up making a tool for it. So basically it's just a little bit of piping, a bit of wire wrapped around it with a bit of a loop there, and then I just pulled onto the spring and got it to a certain point, and then I had to have an assistant come along and basically just push that onto that way. I was going to video it, but I've been cursing a fair bit trying to get this spring on, so that's probably the hardest part of this bloody job, is getting that spring on. The rest of it is pretty good, it's pretty easy. Okay, now the test. Beautiful, works a treat. Well, YouTubers, job complete. That spring was an absolute pain in the butt to try and get on. If I didn't have any assistance, I don't know how the hell I was going to get that on. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. My next video that I'll be doing will be the radiator grille. I'm going to upgrade that one. So until next time, take care, see you all later, and thanks for watching.